Hello, Barcelona family. Like and subscribe to the channel to know everything about Barcelona. In this video, we have a huge revelation about Barcelona, but before that, we need to talk about other very important topics concerning our beloved club. Let's move on to the first one. In an increasingly competitive transfer market filled with unfounded rumors, certain operations stand out not only for their potential immediate impact but also for the message they send to all of European football. The case of Yankeoba Minty is one of them. The young Gambian winger, aged just 20, has made a remarkable entry that has forced the continent's top clubs to take notice. And while it's true that several major Premier League teams have shown strong interest in him, the reality is that Barcelona has decided to take the lead and move decisively to make him a new player on the team. An ambitious bet, but also very consistent with the idea of building a new winning cycle. He's shown this season on loan at Brighton, a club where he grew in leaps and bounds. His performances were not only consistent but also challenging. He demonstrated that he did not tremble in front of established defenses, that he did not need many opportunities to make his mark in a match, and that his growth seemed unstoppable. With explosive speed, a formidable one-on-one game, and a winning mentality, the Gambian has earned the title of one of the great revelations of English football. And this has obviously not escaped Barcelona's notice. From the Catalan club's sports management, his progress has been followed with attention and prudence. This is not an opportunistic move. The interest in Minty dates back several months, when his performances began to solidify in the Premier League. And now, with the approval of the new coach Hansi Flick, the operation has entered a much more active phase. The German technician, known for his resolute commitment to young talent, has studied reports on the player, watched his matches, and concluded that he is an ideal profile for the style of football he wants to implement in the new era opening at the club. Flick wants an aggressive, vertical, dynamic Barcelona, capable of combining positional play with quick transitions, and Minty fits perfectly into this model. It's no secret that the club is in full reconstruction after years of ups and downs, transfers that didn't work out, and a generational transition that is still ongoing. Barcelona understands that it must once again become an attractive destination for young football promises, and what better way to demonstrate this than by outpacing the giants of England and signing a player who has been followed by Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, and Tottenham. Everyone wants him, but Barcelona has been the first to make a serious offer. Economically, the operation is reasonable for a club that continues to manage its budget prudently. Brighton would be willing to let him go for an amount of around €35 million. Given the current market prices and the performances he has already shown at such a young age, we are talking about a strategic investment, not an excessive expense, especially considering that the player has not yet reached his full potential. His margin for improvement is enormous, and under Flick's guidance, he could develop to become a key piece not only for Barcelona's immediate present but also to consolidate the project in the medium and long term. In this context, the position of Hansi Flick is crucial. The coach did not hesitate to support the transfer and made it clear to the management that if Minty arrived, he would have space and minutes to demonstrate his value. This is not about bringing in a player to leave him on the bench, but about integrating him into the first team's rotation, developing his talent in a favorable environment, and helping him grow surrounded by footballers with whom he can perfectly complement. In the locker room, there is room for his profile, a fast, decisive winger, capable of breaking lines, bringing width, and facing defenses fearlessly. His presence could be a perfect complement to names like LAMINE, YAMAL, Rafinha, or Ferran Torres, creating internal competition that can only benefit the group. But this move also sends a message to Europe, and very particularly to the eternal rival. While in Madrid they focus on retaining their stars and managing complicated cases like that of Vinicius, Barcelona is working intelligently, without fanfare, but with meridian clarity in its sports project. Despite the financial difficulties everyone knows about, the Catalan club demonstrates that it is possible to compete at the highest level if you take the initiative, plan rigorously, and prioritize young talent over big names. On this subject, one might ask, dear Madrid supporters, what do you think about the fact that your eternal rival is about to sign one of the great gems of European football, while at Valdebebas, internal decisions are still being debated? It is true that Minty is not yet an established star, but it is also true that great stars have started this way, by being bold bets in their time and becoming idols thanks to the environment, confidence, and well-guided work. At Barcelona, the player would have all of this: a coach who believes in him, a club that values his profile, and supporters who do not hesitate to devote themselves to young players who show commitment and talent. And in these times of hyper-football market, this is much more valuable than a millionaire offer without a sports project. The history, style, international projection, and the possibility of fighting for titles make Barcelona a desired destination for every ambitious young player. The summer market has just begun, but the club has moved quickly. If the transfer materializes, it will be an operation that fits perfectly into the new philosophy. Signing young talents with an immediate future, players who can offer performances right now but also consolidate themselves as pillars of the future. Yankeoba could be the first of a new wave of footballers who will bring Barcelona back to the top, not only in Spain but also in Europe. For our part, as Cules, we can only be enthusiastic seeing how the club acts with criteria, how the transfers respond to a sports logic, and how the coach actively participates in decision-making. It is a reason to hope, and even more so when it comes to players like Minty, who represent everything we want to see: youth, hunger, talent, and courage. And you, the Madrid supporters, how do you see Barcelona taking the lead with this type of transfer? Don't you think that while you negotiate painful departures, Barcelona continues to sign young stars eager for glory? Time will tell, but today, one thing is clear. Barcelona is starting to build again with its head and heart, and this has always been synonymous with success. The second piece of news concerns an important decision in our beloved club. The news that has been gaining momentum in recent weeks is revolutionizing the hopes of the Barcelona supporters. Marcus Rashford, the English forward who, at his best, has shown in the Premier League and on the international stage, could be on the verge of starting a new chapter in his career that would lead him to wear our colors. From the very first moment, this possibility has ignited the hopes of all supporters who wish to see the sports project reborn with strength and with footballers who bring talent, grit, and determination. The situation at Manchester United, with the arrival of Ruben at Morim and the change in direction that this entails, has clearly shown that Rashford is not part of the core of the English team, which opens the door for Barcelona, with its history and ability to develop players, to take a firm step and become the ideal destination for him. It is important to analyze every detail of this operation, as it is not just a simple transfer, but a bet on the future that can mark a before and after in our squad. Rashford is a player with unique characteristics that perfectly fit the football we want. His versatility to play both on the left flank and in more central positions, his diabolical speed, his ability to break lines and generate imbalance are qualities that are not common and that, in the system that Hansi Flick wants to implement, can fit like a glove. The idea of having a player who can contribute both to the creation and completion of plays, who gets involved in high pressing and is a real headache for rival defenses, is extremely attractive. Furthermore, Rashford has the sufficient experience to adapt to the demands of a top club that always competes at the highest level and, despite his recent ups and downs, has never lost that hunger to show that he is still one of the best forwards of his generation. As Cules, we know that the path to excellence is not always linear. Players go through tough times, suffer injuries, dips in form, or simply need a change of scenery to find their best version. Rashford is in one of those moments where a favorable environment and a solid project can give him the necessary confidence to regain the brilliance he once showed. Barcelona, with its structure, a coach who knows how to get the best out of his footballers, and supporters who do not hesitate to support those who show commitment and dedication, offers this ideal environment. The club's history is full of examples of players who found at camp knew the perfect place to grow and become legends. With Rashford, the expectation is that something similar could happen. The union between a talented player and a historic club can lead to spectacular success that, in addition to trophies, brings enthusiasm and pride to all those who live and breathe the blue and deep red. Another fundamental aspect is the economic and market context. The price set by Manchester United, around £40 million, represents a very attractive opportunity for the club in a market where figures are skyrocketing and the competition for big names is fierce. Having the possibility to incorporate a top-level footballer for a moderate sum is an opportunity that cannot be missed. It is a smart move that combines talent and common sense. The investment can be profitable in the short, medium, and long term. If Rashford regains his full potential, his value will multiply, and on a sporting level, the quality he will bring to the squad will be fundamental to competing with guarantees in all competitions. Furthermore, he is a player in top physical shape and with many years ahead of him to continue growing and consolidating himself at the highest level. The supporters have already shown enthusiasm for this possibility. Social networks, forums, and debate spaces are filled with messages of support, excitement, and hope. Rashford is being talked about as the type of footballer who can make a difference, who brings speed, power, and goals, and who would fit perfectly into the game scheme envisioned by the technical staff. His versatility is also highlighted, an added value for a team seeking dynamism and tactical flexibility. The truth is that, for a long time, there has not been so much enthusiasm around a possible transfer with so much sporting sense and potential to make a qualitative leap in the squad. It is felt that Rashford could be that differential element that propels the team towards an era of success and recovery of the footballing identity. For this transfer to materialize, it will be necessary for all parties to be aligned and for the club to act with speed and determination. We cannot forget that the market is full of rivals ready to bid for the best players. Therefore, the strategy must be clear. Show the player the sports project, the coach's confidence, the affection of the supporters, and the commitment of a club that always strongly bets on its footballers. The fact that Rashford is looking for a new challenge and a place where he can shine again is a point in his favor. All that remains is for him to feel attracted to the project and understand that Barcelona is the perfect scenario to rewrite his story. When that moment comes, the union between the player, the club, and the supporters will be an explosive combination that will benefit all parties involved. From the perspective of Actu, it is impossible not to dream of seeing Rashford overflowing on the flank, connecting with his teammates, scoring decisive goals, and lifting the supporters with his performances. Furthermore, his arrival can give a boost to the players who are already part of the team, creating healthy competition that raises the level of everyone and contributes to forming a strong, united, and ambitious bloc, a bloc capable of competing for titles with the pride and determination that have always characterized the club. In short, the possible transfer of Marcus Rashford represents a unique opportunity for Barcelona and great news for all Culés who aspire to see their team compete with the greatest ambition. It is a step that could transform the squad, give it freshness, speed, and goals, and strengthen confidence in the sports project led by the technical staff. History has taught us that when we bet on talented, motivated, and committed players, the results end up coming. And Rashford meets all these conditions. That is why we must be attentive, enthusiastic, and ready to welcome a footballer who can mark a new era in our club, because when we defend our colors, desire, passion, and dedication are never lacking. And Rashford, if he decides to join us, will have all the support of a fan base that dreams of returning to the top and will not stop believing in the talent and strength of the team. The third piece of news is a thunderbolt at Barcelona. Barcelona could be very close to finalizing a transfer that promises to strengthen one of the positions that has required the most attention in recent years, the left back. Alvaro Carreras, the young Portuguese talent from Benfica, has reappeared on the Barcelona radar after it was revealed that Real Madrid has decided to withdraw from the race, leaving the path completely clear for the blue and deep red team to take the lead in this strategic operation. For weeks, Alvaro Carreras had attracted the attention of various European clubs thanks to his performances, youth, and potential. At 21 years old, he has shown that he not only has the physical and technical qualities to stand out in a top-tier league, but also the tactical maturity that many seek in a modern fullback, quick in recovery, precise in one-on-one duels, and with a notable ability to join the attack without neglecting his defensive responsibilities. Undoubtedly, one of those profiles that fit perfectly into Barcelona's football philosophy, where fullbacks are not just containment pieces but key players in building offensive play. The news that Real Madrid has decided to withdraw from the race for Carreras has been received with relief and enthusiasm in the Barcelona environment. The white team had been monitoring the player's situation for months and was said to have maintained initial contacts with the footballer's entourage. However, as revealed in recent hours, Benfica's high financial demands, which require at least €25 million for his transfer, have led Chamartin to focus on other targets. This decision not only represents a change in their planning, but also offers Barcelona a golden opportunity to move freely and finalize a transfer that can make a difference in the short and medium term. In the offices of the Catalan club, they did not want to waste any time. According to sources close to the management, preliminary conversations have already taken place with Benfica and with the player's entourage, who would view a move to Barcelona very favorably. The Barcelona project, now led by Hansi Flick, is beginning to take shape, and in this construction of a renewed, competitive, and dynamic team, Carreras' profile fits perfectly. It is not just about adding another young talent to the squad, but addressing a strategic need that could worsen in the coming weeks if the departure of a key player in that position is confirmed. Hansi Flick, known for his direct character and tactical demands, has been clear from day one. He needs to strengthen the left-back position, either because there could be significant departures or because he considers it essential to have real competition in that position. The German coach has given the green light to the transfer of Alvaro Carreras. This is not a whim or a senseless addition but a direct request from the coach, who sees in the Portuguese a player with room for improvement, the ability to quickly adapt to the team's style, and the necessary hunger to establish himself in the elite. Benfica's position is clear. They will not let Carreras go for less than €25 million, an amount that, in other times, would have been difficult for Barcelona to afford but which today, given the club's new strategic and financial approach, is considered a logical and necessary investment. The Portuguese club knows it has a highly rated player in its ranks and does not intend to give him away. However, there is also a tacit acknowledgement that the player's wishes could be decisive in the operation. If Carreras decides to push for his departure, the deal could be concluded sooner than expected. In the Barcelona environment, there is an air of cautious optimism. No one wants to claim victory prematurely, but everyone acknowledges that the transfer is closer than ever. The fact that Madrid has withdrawn removes a significant obstacle and places the sports management in an advantageous position. Furthermore, the project led by Flick is beginning to appeal to young European talents looking for a club where they can grow, develop, and compete at the highest level. Barcelona is once again becoming that dream destination for many footballers, and Carreras seems to be part of that. It is not just about filling a position. Signing Carreras would also be a bet on the future, a move that reaffirms the club's intention to build a solid, balanced squad with long-term potential. His youth is an asset, not a limitation. His experience in Portugal and competitive character make him an ideal reinforcement for a season that will demand depth, rotation, and commitment. Carreras would not arrive as a substitute but as a genuine competitor for a starting spot, which would raise the overall level of the team and put everyone in that area of the field on alert. The Barcelona supporters, always attentive to market movements, have welcomed the news with enthusiasm. Many see Carreras as the type of transfer the club needs: young, with potential, hungry for titles, and without the exorbitant prices that other names in the market often have. He is an affordable profile, but no less valuable. His transfer could be one of those smart moves so demanded in recent years and which help build a competitive project without mortgaging the club's economic future. His style of play perfectly fits the demands of the new coach, and the competitive context he would find would be ideal for taking the next step in his career. Carreras is not just looking for minutes but also an environment where he can continue to evolve, face the best, and aspire to great things. Barcelona represents all that and more: a global showcase, a talent factory, and a club that, despite recent challenges, remains one of the most desired destinations in European football. In summary, Madrid's withdrawal from the race for Alvaro Carreras has been an unexpected gift that Barcelona cannot let pass. With the path clear, Flick's approval, and the player's interest, everything seems aligned for this operation to succeed. It would be a coherent, necessary, and strategic move, a reinforcement that not only addresses an immediate need but also bets on the future. Carreras has everything to succeed at Camp Nou, and the club has everything to make it a reality. The coming days will be crucial. If the sports management can advance in the negotiations with Benfica and conclude a satisfactory agreement, the Barcelona club could make a splash in the market, securing one of the most promising fullbacks in the European scene. The enthusiasm is lit, and all that remains is to finalize the last steps, because when talent, need, and opportunity align, the result can be extraordinary. And Carreras, without a doubt, could be one of those stories that begin with enthusiasm and end in glory.